welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Friday, October 14th, 2022, and this is the fifth and final part of our week-long NBA season preview series. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, it's Tas Mellis.
Podcast listeners, this is for you!
Next to him, we got the bearded one, my top shot hot boy, Trey Kirby.
Hey-o!
Hey-yo! And over yonder, making the magic happen, dog sitting at this very moment, super producer JD.
Hello.
Hey.
There he is.
You may hear some munching and crunching. Hazel's got a pig's ear right now.
It's not a quiet treat, is it?
No, I thought it was going to be quiet. It's, I don't know why I thought that. It was hard as a rock when I gave it to her, so she's just munching and crunching over here.
What's old is new again. We started this show with a dog prancing around. You could hear its nails like 18 years ago.
You're right.
Nearly, yeah.
Clickety-clack on the hardwood.
And now there's a dog in the Classic Factory,
Yeah.
not on a pig ear. I love it. Shout out to the stream team joining us live right now on YouTube. Make sure you like the video, all right? Hit that little thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Comment away here in the stream team. Get your No Dunks merch over at nodunks.com. Send in your questions and comments to nodunks@theathletic.com or hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at No Dunks Inc. New Beach Steppin' podcast on Monday, so we need your cues and comments about the season previews, about the upcoming NBA season, something we haven't talked about, really anything you want. Send that in. Best way, nodunks@theathletic.com. And check out yesterday's No Buffs episode, our Survivor recap podcast, if you are a Survivor fan. That's got its own YouTube feed and its own podcast feed. It was a blast talking with TK and JD about that one.
No dogs, unfortunately.
No dogs.
Didn't have a
No
dog.
dogs. Gabe Kapler's getting voted out next week.
You're calling it?
What's the older player?
Gabe Kapler.
I call him Gabe Kapler.
Mike,
What's
Mike Gabler.
Gabler.
Gabler, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Gabler.
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 Yeah.
It's his fault.
I only know him as Mike, so.
Yeah, that's what.
No, he's
I
not.
like calling him Gabe Kapler.
So you don't think he's going to play his idol? Because he's
think
safe. If he goes to tribal council and he plays it, he's safe.
He's a proud fello.
Oh, so you're gonna trick him.
yeah.
I'm with it. I don't mind this.
Owen's going to make him play
Yeah.
the idol for him.
Oh, come on, you guys.
Oh,
That's crazy. All right. I love it.
They're called Prawn Crazy.
I think Gabe Kapler's got to show
Oh,
up.
jeez.
Gabe Cap.
Okay, let's get into our final batch of questions here, guys. And our first one, it's a surprise question that you didn't even know was coming. Have you ever had sex while wearing a Superman cape? Because Dwight Howard has, and he told TMZ all about it multiple times. He's done it. So, Trey, you ever gotten superhero kinky?
I've never been Superman. For Halloween, a Garth Algar wig? Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, from Wayne's World.
Algar is his last name.
Yeah, I was
Anyway.
like, what are you talking about? Yeah.
I just was walking around the party. I like to play the whole time. Excellent.
Okay, but not a Superman cape.
No. I would never be Superman. I don't have the pecs.
Okay.
So are you saying you had sex in the Garth Algar costume?
Hey, no comment,
no,
man.
all
No
right,
comment, man.
Just
What
wanted
is
to
this?
confirm. All right.
Is this a Stephen A. Smith gotcha moment? I did that in a Spider-Man mask.
Which part? The eating or the
Eating
being
ass.
eaten?
I'll just shoot webs.
All right. And what about you?
Gotcha.
You got a cool suit. You look like Superman if I squint.
Sure, thanks. I guess it's a surprise question, but is it that surprising that Dwight
No.
did this?
No, it's surprising it's taken this long for him to admit it,
Yeah.
or I mean, I don't know. I didn't do a deep dive on how this came up. Was he asked about it? Did he just want to share it, get it off his Superman chest?
Yeah, it feels
I'm not
right.
sure.
I mean, he's a free agent right now. He's like, maybe this is the last time I'm going to be asked about it.
Gotta make sure people know.
I was trying to think of like other dunk contest props. Like is Gerald Green gonna come out and say he had sex on the poker table that he jumped over? You know.
Oh, he's done it in socks for sure.
Cupcakes, maybe.
Yeah.
For yeah.
Oh, look.
And there's a
Dog
dog.
sighting. Hazel. Podcast gotta have a dog.
We are off the rails.
Friday,
It's a
baby.
while.
Yeah, this is my fault. I put this question in.
It's all right.
Hijinks ensued.
good.
Okay, look at this.
Good, man.
Yeah, Hazel, you're the star.
Hazel's just below the table here.
Yeah, can sort of. She sort of blends into the background,
Yeah,
doesn't
she
she?
does.
Yeah.
That's
All
why I got her.
A man's got to have a camouflage dog.
That's right.
Okay.
Oh, there she goes.
Whoa,
No consideration for the cables around here,
She's
Hazel.
going to destroy something here in a second.
Yeah.
Who's a good girl? Okay, first question. Let's do it. Hazel, chime in if you want. Surprise playoff team, gentlemen.
To me, I'll start us off
Yeah,
here.
please.
The Portland Trailblazers. Do you remember that stretch last year in February? They won 4 straight. It was Josh Hart.
I'll be honest, I don't.
Yeah,
that
one.
it's a much written about 4-game stretch.
Okay.
Anthony Simons, Josh Hart, and Yusuf Nurkic. You throw in a Damian Lillard
Hell yeah.
at the peak of his powers, as he says he is, plus a Jeremy Grant. They're there. Am I convincing anyone? No, because you know why? Surprise! The real surprise is there isn't one. There isn't going to be a real surprise
Really?
team in the playoffs. In the top 6, I do not think so.
Either conference.
No, I don't think so.
Wow.
I think we've talked about it. I think there's too many good teams this season. Maybe to some broadcasters out there, the Raptors are going to be a surprise. I saw it again on NBA TV.
Mm-hmm.
Another broadcaster saying the Raptors aren't going to make it. Brendan Haywood, B-Dub. What's going on? How can you call someone B-Dub if it's Haywood? It feels like B-Dub is the right nickname. Anyways, how the Raptors have gone over 10 of the last 11 years and they're over under. Anyway, I don't think there's I find the Blazers could be a team that sneaks into the play-in tournament. But as far as a real playoff tournament, I mean, I had to lie and say a real playoff team is nah. I don't buy the top 6.
So you tackled this by. You don't even count the playoffs now as the top 8 teams eventually because of the play-in. You were looking at just the 6. And if you're going that, I agree with you. Then there probably isn't a surprise.
Yeah.
But
I think the Blazers could sneak in there, and I do think the smart move by Chauncey Billups as head coach there is to throw Anthony Simons in there and let him ball, because I think they could have a defensive attitude with Josh Hart again. It was a great little 4-game stretch. You don't remember it because it was a 4-game stretch in February when they were out of the picture already. Mm-hmm. But I do think they can put it together enough to be in the play-in tournament, and there's going to be some disappointed Western Conference teams.
Yeah,
I mean, they're sort of in that second tier, with the Pelicans, even with the Kings, who everyone's in love with.
Are the Lakers a surprise playoff team?
They would be a surprise playoff team, I think.
Okay, I don't like
considering who's in the West.
Okay, back to the Blazers. There's some bad news to start the season with them. Gary Payton II, he's going to miss the start of the regular season already as he continues to recover from a core muscle injury. Team said he's going to be reevaluated in a couple weeks, but he is critical to. What is that now?
That's a
a
dog
dog.
drinking water.
No, it's a dog drinking water. Of course it is. GP2, he's pretty critical to them having a decent defense, right? I mean, the hopes is they have an average defense at this point because they've been basically the worst for like the last 3 seasons running. So I hate that start.
Yes.
But hopefully it's only a couple weeks. But yeah,
I mean,
because I'm high on the Blazers as we've gone over.
He is going to be a bench player. He's going to be important, but not as significant as the starters in Hart and Grant.
He might be closing games though when you need stops. I don't know.
It's a question.
Okay. So yeah, figure it out, Trey. I mean,
It's tough to pick like a top 6er. I totally agree. I think that maybe the Lakers would be my choice for a surprise team to actually make it into the top 6 in the Western Conference, because I was just looking at the 10th seed in the Eastern Conference, because to me, Charlotte will drop out of that spot, leaving a potential playoff tournament appearance for the Wizards and the Knicks. I'm taking the Wizards over the Knicks because I think it would be more of a surprise. And then in the Western Conference, I think obviously the Spurs and Jazz are going to be the teams dropping out. That gives you a spot for the Lakers, the Kings, and the Blazers. I got the Lakers and the Kings.
yeah.
Game of Thrones is back, so I'm rolling with the Wizards and the Kings.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Damon Lillard.
Those are the teams I wrote down in the West: Kings, Blazers, or Lakers as your potential surprise playoff teams, and then in the East I wrote down Bulls, Pistons, Magic, or Wizards as surprise.
No one's convinced.
No,
I don't.
No.
I don't hear any conviction in anyone's voice, because, as you said, we talked about yesterday, there's gonna be so many 50-win teams. It's gonna be hard to knock one of those teams off.
How do you feel about your Bulls?
They're way ahead of the teams you listed. sure, guaranteed. The Bulls finished in the 6th seed last year. They're bringing everybody back. Obviously, Lonzo is out right now, and he will be out to start the season, but it looks like Ayo Dosunmu is going to be stepping in as the starting point guard. Looks like he's made a little bit of a leap, had a great rookie season, a little bit older as a rookie, so maybe his development won't be super high, but it could be pretty quick as he progresses on. I think at this point you would have to consider the Bulls a surprise playoff team if they get back to the 6th seed or higher, but I think they're at least guaranteed top 9. Cool. yeah, that's a thing now.
Yeah, now it sounds like there's the talk about expanding the NCAA tournament beyond the. Get out of here! I mean,
beyond 68 teams.
Yeah, we need more. We need more. No, we don't. We absolutely don't need more. And it's just going to be hard for these teams to crack it. I see people here in the stream team saying, "Has Taz seen Nurkic move his feet this season?" As Luke Woodbridge said. Listen, we're reaching here, I think, for teams that could make it. And yeah, the Yusuf Nurkic problem is a big problem for the Portland Trailblazers. Can you have a good defense with Nurk back there playing a ton? They may have to go small just to play up to Chauncey Billups' standards. It's going to be tough. It is so tough. I mean, I think we're going to be saying that a lot this year. But yeah, either you're going for Yama. We'll get to the best slogans for tanking, or you're trying to get in the play-in tournament for some of these teams. There's going to be a lot of these teams that are on the bubble, but not good enough to get in the top 6.
Are you higher on the Magic or the Pistons for this season?
The Pistons, I guess. Yeah.
Because it feels like, from what I've read and seen, and like there is some buzz a little bit around the young Magic and around the Pistons too, because of what Cade could do and be really special in his second year.
Yeah,
So
I think I would probably lean Pistons because I think Cade is the best player of anybody on those two teams. I don't really think either of them are going to actually make playoff noise, but they'll probably stay competitive and in the race until Marchish.
Yeah, and you've got an extremely solid veteran in Bojan Bogdanovic coming over who can do it on both ends. Can you say that about the Magic, really? Do you have a 20-point vet on the Magic? No. So... yeah, the Pistons are there. Obviously, it's extremely exciting in terms of their future, but this year it's going to be a lot of hodgepodge. Are we figuring this thing out? It's going to be ugly. Okay. Although, they're working on their forms down there. Killian Hayes, new shot form.
You believe it?
No.
I believe it's a new shot form.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, they have so many question marks. It's fun. It's fun for the hardcores like us to see, whoa, that draft pick. Jalen Duren's going to get a lot of time. Jaden Ivey's going to get a lot of time. But, yeah, it's tough conference.
Let's move on here to an awards-based question, and that is Coach of the Year, the X's and the O's.
I got Chris Finch with the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Okay, that's a good, solid pick.
It's a hot one for sure.
Yeah.
And I think because all this talk about Rudy Gobert is going on, I think we do forget that they were a really good team last year, and that probably bodes well for Chris Finch. They're 46-36 last year, and that bodes well for this award, which is usually a, hey, that guy overachieved sort of award. So if you don't remember that they were good last year, I think that helps up. But they were good. 8th on offense, 13th on defense. 4 more wins. This is a 50-win team with an improved Anthony Edwards going into year 3. Got to believe in that guy. Gobert vaulting that defense. The Kyle Anderson signing. The thing is, people are saying, oh, they're a little too top heavy. I think Chris Finch does a really good job of getting a lot out of their bench players. Like Jalen Noel, maybe a lot of people don't know him, but he can ball off the bench. Naz Reid's done well for them. Jaden McDaniels, who they didn't throw in the Rudy Gobert deal. And there's a PJ Dozier lurking. He's not leaking. I don't think he's leaking. He's
checked out if you are, PJ.
He's lurking.
Your Jays.
Yeah, he's lurking back there. I think they could have. We got Hazel walking around here. They got a bulldog type defense. Hazel's not a bulldog, but we got a tough defense potential there, and they're gonna be tough to play. And I think Chris Finch will be great on the offensive end. We're just talking about what they're gonna be, but I think Chris Finch has already solved a lot of things with this team.
Well, that helps too, right? The narrative of like, they make the trade for Gobert, and immediately everyone's like, in today's NBA, in 2022-23, can you play like 2 7-footers and make that work? And how are you going to do that? And if he can, and they continue to improve, then I could see him winning this award. I think that's a really, really good pick. I have him on my short list. Anyone else, Trey, that you got your eye on?
Michael Malone and the Denver Nuggets.
That's the other
name. Yeah, they're going to have a ton of wins. I've got them probably winning the most games in the Western Conference, and that's a pretty solid case because you look at the last 5 Coach of the Year winners. If you throw out Tom Thibodeau, surprising with the Knicks during the 2021 season, every other Coach of the Year winners team has won like 70% of their games. And I think the Nuggets have a good shot at that with a 2-time MVP. They're getting back Jamal Murray. They're getting back Michael Porter Jr. They added some nice pieces in support in KCP and Bruce Brown. They've just got a nice looking team already, and they've already been a pretty solid team, winning quite a few games last year. How many did they win last year? 48. They could easily be up to 55 this year, and if that's the case and the Nuggets look like a championship contender, I think Michael Malone gets a lot of votes.
Yep. More Western Conference Coach of the Year potential love from the stream team here. Taylor Jenkins with the Grizzlies, especially with Jaren Jackson Jr. being out, if they can get off to a very hot start.
What if they drop in wins, though?
Well, then
That's the
you
tough
probably won't win, yeah.
That's going to be tough with 56 wins last year.
Willie Green, the Pelicans. Everyone was very, very impressed with what he did, especially turning around the second half of that season after the trade deadline.
Love
Zion
Willie.
in the mix. He could get a lot of love. I like that. People are questioning Doc Rivers. I guess the idea being the Sixers have the best record in the East, maybe even the NBA.
Yeah, I don't mind that one at all.
As Chris says, there's some carryover playoff stink on Doc, which is sort of true. So you'd have to be running away maybe with the best record to get it. Darvin Ham, if he can get the Lakers back to being the Lakers that we've known before with LeBron and AD, and does he somehow figure out a way to make it work with Westbrook as a new coach? Okay. And then there's always love for Steve Kerr and Eric Spoelstra, like your actual good coaches that everyone's like, what's the thing? Spoelstra's never won one. A coach.
That's right.
Yeah, which is a little baffling because he's on every list of like best coaches in the NBA. Like he's always on the top 3 list. And rightfully so, and just has never got one of these. So maybe it's the year for Spoelstra.
Wasn't Spoelstra added to the Coach Hall of Fame? Or not the Coach Hall of Fame. He was
like
added
top
to
15
top 15 coaches
right?
of all
He
time.
was?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's a top 75 list of players, and then he was added to the top 15 coaches of all time, not the Hall of Fame. That's right. And he hasn't won Coach of the Year yet, which is odd.
Yeah. And Ben saying Bickerstaff has a similar argument to Chris Finch with the Cleveland Cavaliers in the obviously in the Eastern Conference. I think that's very true. Maybe surprised some people last year, had a decent record. In Cleveland's case, sort of fell off at the end because of injuries, but now you got Donovan Mitchell there, and a lot of people are high on them, thinking they could be a home court advantage team in the Eastern Conference. I know you're high, so it's a good one too.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like Jenkins and Bickerstaff are the exact same case that they had last year. Last year was the year to win it, outperforming expectations. Almost zero expectations for the Cavaliers, a little bit more so for the Grizzlies last year, but they both went way over their win totals. You got to do the same this year, but now people are expecting you to be good. So tough, definitely tough, but there's always like 15 candidates for Coach of the Year at the end of the season, so we shall see.
Yeah. And we didn't even show you the odds because honestly, there's no clear-cut favorite. They're like there's like 10, 15 guys where it's like plus 1,000. It's who exceeds expectations or who has that number one record with a bang maybe. All right, we need to take a break, get something else for the dog. Maybe a loud toy. What would be the loudest toy we could give Hazel in here?
My dog growing up it looked like a foot with painted toenails, and you would bite on it and go,
Oh, that's... Like,
yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it looked like a foot. It was kind of disgusting.
Jeffrey Dahmer-like, isn't it?
Jeffrey
weird.
Doggo.
Anyway, we'll take a break. We'll find something for sweet Hazel here. Don't go anywhere. Back in a second.
Guys, busy weekend in the ATL. And I was the most Atlanta dad to ever dad. It was Porch Fest here in the neighborhood close by, and my kids were playing in it. And none of those kids in that band have licenses. So I did what I swore I would never, ever do again. I hauled drums and amps up and down stairs, ran cables behind planters. I said sibilance into a mic multiple times. That's right, I was a GD roadie for Mongo Pretty, my kids' bands. Had to knock on the door once. Excuse me, ma'am, I think we blew one of your circuits on the front porch here. Embarrassing, but it was fine. It was a gorgeous day. The kids killed it. I spent the rest of the afternoon drinking PBRs on strangers' lawns, and that went well into the evening. So the next day, had to get up early. Why? To go get those drums. Brutal. Thank goodness for my old friend. Starbucks. Oh my God, why am I so bad at this?
Does it look like a mirror or what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. It's I'm not used to this. I'm not an on-air guy. Starbucks Baya energy drink. I had, and thank goodness I had the sense to hide my last can of mango guava behind cans of Guinness, which is a risk because look at how eye-catching this is. I mean, it's a beautiful label amongst the black cans, but the kids were fooled. They didn't see it because they sucked these things down like crazy. And I sucked this thing down. Fridge opened Sunday morning. Glug, 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 glug. And I was good to go, man. Got in that car. Got in the RAV4. I had so much energy. I could have taken those drums assembled and just threw them back into the back of the RAV4. I didn't, though. I sat in the driver's seat. I didn't even get out. It's like, kids, welcome to the glamorous rock and roll lifestyle. It's Sunday morning. Go get those drums. And, you know, listen, this one's my favorite, the mango. Oh, my God. Why can't I do this? Mango.
Yep.
But they also have raspberry lime, which is very elusive. Can't find it anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with it.
We've got JD in the stream team saying they sell out in stores all the time.
Yeah, they do. It's true. And then the pineapple passion fruit. Not my favorite, but, you know, this one's the best. Mango guava. Yeah, so you can get them. You can get the two of them, not the raspberry one. It's available online at grocery stores, convenience stores, and gas stations nationwide.
Back in the Classic Factory, Burning Questions, part 5 of our week-long season preview series. Amelia with a great comment in the stream team talking about coaches of the year. We were talking about Darvin Ham. She says, if Ham can get Westbrook to evolve his game, call him Darwin.
Oof. Science bars.
Damn,
I love it.
that is good stuff there. Before we get to the next question, I thought I could slip in some more leaked NBA jerseys. PJ Dozier leak in here.
PJ.
3 more jerseys, guys. Again, are they official? Probably.
Yeah,
they probably are. We've got 2 here on the same graphic, if you're on YouTube, showing you the Sixers City of Brotherly Love. And then on the right there, the Phoenix Suns I Just Blew Myself joints. Thoughts on these ones?
Blue Sun, huh? Interesting. I don't know. City of Brotherly Love, to me, that one looks like it's a t-shirt. It just looks like a t-shirt you would, like, particularly that looks like merch you would get from a cool bar.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
Yeah.
It's a little bit underdone to me.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you know, I think they're both okay.
Okay.
Yep.
It's totally true. It looks like you could get it at Fred's.
Yeah, exactly.
Come get a Fred's sandwich. It looks like the exact same font. Yeah, it looks like a
I
restaurant.
just had Fred's last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it underdone?
The burger?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, it was
What'd
perfect.
you have?
I had a burger.
Fred's is perfect. That's good, right?
Oh, yeah.
They got great cheesesteaks. So does Philadelphia.
Maybe that's where they borrowed it from.
Bow.
Come on, the Suns one it's like your feed is wrong. You're watching something and the feed is wrong. The screen
jarring.
comes up blue,
jarring.
and then it's just a bad game of Tetris, I guess, with that one. That's all I see is like you just piled up 4 Tetris pieces together to get that one. What is going on? That's a weird jersey.
Okay, and there's also the Celtics City Edition jerseys. This is screen grabs of a little video. Somebody was flipping this one around.
Spinning and flipping.
You know, Celtics. Here we go. I mean, these are. Again, I've said this before. I'm starting to see these, and I'm like, oh yeah, we had that already. We haven't had this?
Somehow we haven't had this one.
What?
I'll say points for the script font on the front. I always love a script font.
Okay.
Anti-points, however, for the combination of black and green. Just doesn't work for me, especially with the Celtics. Like, I think of them as a green and white team. That's all I need to see.
Okay. Tess, anything to add?
I think it's better than the one that Enes Kanter leaked a few years ago. It was a Celtics jersey.
Yeah.
If you remember, it was a little lighter green. It was odd looking. So this is better than that.
Okay.
I'm just trying to be positive.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't look great. It might look okay on the court, actually. That's a screen grab of a video.
Yeah, it's true. That's the case with a lot. Some of these.
Yeah.
You get the photo from Dick's or this weird little video, and you're like, okay, the lighting's weird.
Yeah.
In their mall.
It's a bad
But
angle.
I mean, it's still the design is the design, and if you're like, that's a strange color for the Suns, then it is. And like people are pointing out with the Celtics one here in the stream team, people are saying it sort of looks like a Bucks jersey, and it also looks like a Sonics jersey.
True.
Jammed together into a Boston Celtics. Anyway, we'll have more coming, I'm sure.
Yep.
Coming fast and furious here.
No doubt about it. I mean, we're talking like 60 new jerseys every single year between the city and the statement edition or whatever they're calling them. I will say this, though. We haven't liked a lot of the jerseys, but every pair of NBA shorts is good. I don't know how it's possible, but like every authentic pair of shorts, whatever the design is, it looks cool. Like we don't love that Spurs Sadix jersey, but the Serape on the side looks incredible. The Pistons had really weird jerseys last year, but they also had like lightning bolt shorts. Very cool. Shorts are good. Shorts are easy to make.
But that's because there's a lot less going on, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So.
You're usually just getting like a side panel and a color.
Yeah. Okay.
Tasty serape. That's a great word. That's
Serape,
a great word.
yeah. Serape?
That's right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Blanket.
We're
I believe
learning
it
here.
means.
Next question. Which player enters a make or break season? Who wants to get us started on this one? Who you got your eye on?
I've got my eye on 4 players, to be quite honest with you.
there's
4
some good
players.
ones.
I've got some league fellas that I'm keeping my eye on. Make or break season. Ben Simmons, come on. I was out last night watching the Chicago Bears blow a football game, and somebody said, is Ben Simmons going to be good this year? It's an impossible question to answer because what is even a good season for Ben Simmons? He hasn't played once the season tips off in 486 days, but he was an all-NBA player as recently as the 2020 season. He's playing on a team now most suited for his play style and his skill set.
True.
But he also looks like the exact same player that we saw the last time he was on the court for the 76ers. So, I don't know. He's got to be all defense this year, I think. He needs to be an all defense player to kind of reestablish his reputation.
He
in the
needs
league.
that, I would say, and he needs the Nets to be good. He needs, it's like a team thing. I feel like if the Nets are like, whoa, KD and Kyrie are doing their thing, and then Ben Simmons, like you said, is locking up guys. Had some success against Giannis in a preseason game, if you want to take anything from that. He needs, like, the Nets to be really good, and then just like, oh, yeah, he's still an elite defensive player.
Oh, right,
and
we
then
forgot that part.
Everything else, it's like almost doesn't matter. It's a weird thing. Because he'll get his stats. His stats will be, he'll be flirting
15
with,
points, 9 assists, easily, something like that.
Yeah, so that's a good one.
Okay, another guy in the spotlight, Anthony Davis.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, it's the same thing every year. I loved his quote recently. This is from Dave McMenamin. Anthony Davis said, I trust Coach's decision. I'm pretty sure he heard AD wants to play the 4, so he knows where I stand. But at the end of the day, I want to win. So if that's me playing the 5, that's what it's got to be. Run it back, Turbo. I love it, Anthony Davis. And guess what? He's already missing time in the preseason with lower back tightness. For me, every year, I have to say that the Lakers are going to do well out loud and on a podcast before I really start reconsidering the way things are going to go, because I don't know, like, we just can't have Anthony Davis play 50 games again this year and be awesome when he's on the court and then nothing when he's not on the court. So he's under scrutiny for me.
Yeah.
And then these are personal ones.
Okay.
Probably not as big of a deal league-wide. Patrick Williams has to improve for the Bulls. He needs to stay on the court first and foremost, and he needs to take a little bit of a step forward in year 3. He averaged 9 points per game his rookie season, 9 points per game again in his sophomore season. Be aggressive, buddy. I don't love the fact that the Bulls are going to be bringing him off the bench. You lost your starting spot to Javonte Green. Don't love that. But if he improves, that really helps the Bulls, especially with Lonzo out. And then my final fella that I'm keeping an eye on, De'Aaron Fox.
Good one.
It's time, buddy. You got a team now, so please try hard. Shoot better than 30% from 3, because it is year 6 now for De'Aaron Fox. It's time to be an actual star rather than just like a quality starter who might make the leap.
Yep. Love that one. Had him on my list as well. I'm glad you said it and I didn't have to. And I believe in Fox now with some talent around him and some shooting and Mike Brown there trying to give them a defensive identity. I would love to see him like really focus on that end too. Like he should be on all defensive teams, like a second team or something like that. If he's athletic enough, he should be. But
he's too speedy not to be. I agree. But he was invigorated after the Sabonis trade last year. We'll see if it keeps up. That's a fair question. The Anthony Davis one is a great one because there's so much on his shoulders. I know it's the same story with him every year, but this year I think it's more on his shoulders than ever because Bron is obviously, at this point of his career that you can't depend on him night in and night out. It's the weakest supporting cast that Anthony Davis has had since he went to LA in year 4. They just don't have a lot of players around him. He's asking to play the 4. He's got Damian Jones beside him at the 5, who's barely been able to stay in the league. You could see a Dwight Howard be pulled off the heap to play center beside him. They're lacking, and he has to play a lot. There was a photo yesterday of him hanging out with James Worthy. He's got his fanny pack on, and he also has the back brace on, and they're out somewhere. I mean, it's just a back tightener making things. I'm not trying to say he's injured, but at the same time, there's going to be a lot on that back this season. I think more so than anywhere, more than any other season. And it's ironic, too, because I think the worse AD plays, the more Rob Pelinka's got to pull the trigger on a Buddy Hield or Miles Turner deal, which would really help him out. Because, the Pelinka thought process is, well, if you guys are all right, then maybe I won't give up draft picks. But there is so much on AD. There's a lot on him because you look across the board with that team. There's just not a lot there. Damian Jones. I mean, there's some issues there. But I'll stay in LA with one more pick too. I think it's just kind of on both of the guys, on Kawhi and Paul George at 31 and 32 years of age. They came here for this championship. Paul George is literally saying, "My championship window is closing," and you can't really put more pressure on one than the other because it doesn't work without one of them. So it's on both really at the same time, but this is year 4 of this experiment, which is wild to think. They came here for a championship.
Couple great suggestions from the stream team. Bradley Beal is a fascinating one. I know no one's high on the Wizards' chances of winning 50 games or anything like that. Pressure? Make or break, I guess. I mean, it's
signed 5 for $250. I'm good.
Okay, well, I guess pressure in the sense if people are healthy around you, you got KP, you've got some of your young guys getting better in this league, and Hachimura and Avdia and stuff like that. We made the trade. Here comes Morris. Here comes Barton. It's lead us a little bit here. Instill some confidence in us giving you $250 million.
Sure,
is the way you would maybe look at that. Mitchell Robinson. Again, that's a classic. Just stay on the floor if you can. People are saying Julius Randle. A couple people. An incredible season 2 years ago. Brutal season last year. He's flipping the bird to his home crowd. It's
dropping a thumbs down.
Be good to sort of rally. Killian Hayes already came up in this show, and I know KOC is still a believer in him, and some are, and he is a pretty good defensive player, but needs to add a little offensive burst would help. I'll say DeAndre Hunter though. Make or break is probably harsh, but we are at year 4 for DeAndre Hunter. Like a lot of these guys we mentioned, he struggles to stay on the floor. He's only played 139 games in 3 seasons now. I mean, he played 60-odd games in his first year, 23 in his second year, 53 last year. So he's got to stay healthy. And I just think he's important to the Hawks being the difference between a good and great team. That's where I'm at with him. Because he has to be out there to be one of their defenders that you're pairing with DeJounte Murray, and then, give a little spark offensively. And I had forgotten, he played really well in the Heat series. They got embarrassed. They lost in 5.
Yeah.
He averaged over 20 points per game and was lights out from deep and just shooting overall. Now, I don't think he's going to be averaging 21 points per game this coming season, but I would like to see in year 3, 16, 17, 18, flirting with that. Especially when you have 2 sort of all-stars at the guards position. So DeAndre Hunter, I'm just keeping my eye on him. I just want him to play. That's the big thing.
Yeah, it's a local pick. Well, how would you feel about Jay Crowder coming via trade? And then that would be his spot, right? It would be very likely if they don't trade John Collins. They wouldn't.
Could trade DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah. For sure. Which would seem odd. DeAndre Hunter's got a lot of potential, but he can't stay on the floor. Hunter seems like a more athletic, put the ball on the floor version of Jay Crowder. Like he seems like he can do everything Jay Crowder can.
He's turning 25. You always do the Altizo team. I feel like DeAndre Hunter has got to be in consideration on the team because I think Trey on one of these maybe podcasts or maybe in our over-unders, like he'll explode for a 30-point game. And you're like, oh, here we go. And then he will go missing in action for like 2 games. You won't even hear his name. It's really strange. He needs some consistency. But, I hadn't thought about Crowder coming in and maybe taking his minutes.
Could steal that spot because he's not taking John Collins' spot. He's not taking DeJounte Murray's spot.
No.
And if they're bringing him in for that reason, to be that guy who got the Heat to the finals in that spot. Got the Suns to the finals in that spot. I will mention one other guy. This guy doesn't have the pressure, but he could be a guy that could have be that sneaky 50-point guy. And I know I'm reaching with this one, but I love him. And Mr. TD here in the stream team mentioned Kendrick Nunn playing with the Lakers. That guy can score. I know he's been gone for a year, so people forget about him, but he can score. He is a great supporting player. I still believe. Just give him the ball and watch what he does with it. But the defense is the other end, the defensive end is the problem for that team. Who's going to stop anybody? We shall see.
If Kendrick Nunn scores 50 points in a game this season, I'll buy you a steak.
Thank you.
Well, none.
Oh,
Sixth man of the year. That just came to me. I honestly wasn't setting that up.
Good,
I really wasn't.
See you at Fred's.
Sixth man of the year. Let's get to it, JD. Guys.
Kendrick Nunn.
Who got your eye on? I guess so, yeah.
No. I'm going Jordan Poole.
Okay.
I'm hot on this team rallying around the Draymond Green incident. I think sometimes with championship teams, it can be a little lost. How do we focus? Well, this incident gives them something to rally around, and there's so many vets. There will be no complacency on that team. I know there's talk about who's the leader on this team. Well, yeah, obviously Steph is the thing that makes this team go. But the good thing about this team is that they've got Kevon Looney there making things happen. They've got Andre Iguodala still in people's ears. Everybody around the Sixers team, even Kevin Durant was asked about it. He said there's guys like Looney that you wouldn't really think of. I'm not even mentioning Clay. Like there's a lot of guys that just have their fingers in the mix and in terms of making it work. And I think they're just going to rally around Jordan Poole. You got sucker punched, man. We're gonna push you up and raise you up to a point where you can do your thing a lot. So I think they're gonna cheer him on. I think he could easily have a 50-point game, as we talked about, a wild one, and be sixth man of the year. I'm buying that. I think this is something good for the Warriors in a crazy way to focus on.
It's a good pick. With six man, you usually got to score. It's like the number one thing over the last 4 or 5 seasons. You've had to score over 18 points per game. It used to be, you could get away with maybe a 15 or a 16 here or there, but like Tyler Hero last year, 20.7 points per game. Clarkson the year before, 18.4. Montrezl Harrell the year before that, 18.6. And then Lou Will going for 20 and 22.6 in 19 and 18. Are you going that route, Trey? A scorer? Someone that's an easy 18 points per game off the bench, or somebody else?
It should 100% be a scorer. I think Jordan Poole is the favorite, and I think he should be the favorite. 18.5 last year, but he ended up starting like 51 games. So was ineligible for sixth man of the year. That might hurt his case if, Curry goes down with an injury for a couple of weeks and he steps into the starting lineup. Starts too often, but Klay Thompson was also missing a huge part of the season last year. So sixth man seems like Jordan Poole's award to lose, alongside Tyler Hero, who won it last year. They're kind of the same player in each side of the NBA here. Even we're gonna see Jordan Poole getting a Tyler Hero contract in not too long. But my pick is a Dallas Maverick. I think Christian Wood is very, very interesting. Ooh. However, he's gonna be starting in not too long. I think he will start and probably be ineligible. So I think Spencer Dinwiddie's a little bit more interesting. He's going to be in the Manu role for the Mavericks. He's going to run the second unit, and then he's going to be right there alongside Luka, closing as a second scorer and ball handler. He was really good once he came over to Dallas. I think he'll be able to assume some of Jalen Brunson's responsibilities from last season. So give me Spencer Dinwiddie, sixth man of the year.
Wow, okay.
That's a good one. I wasn't thinking Spencer. Yeah, that's a nice one.
I said you usually have to score to win this award, but I think you could make a case for somebody that I doubt would hit 18 points per game, but would be coming off the bench and probably closing games and helping his team in theory win. Malcolm Brogdon going to the Boston Celtics. again, he's not going to have huge scoring numbers, but his efficiency took a dive in Indiana when he was like, hey, you're the primary guy. And it was like, okay, now I'm having to do a little too much. And because he was like a 50-40-90 guy at one point. And then, he's asked to do too much and has too much burden offensively. And then his numbers go down. That makes sense. But he's not going to have that in Boston. And he's going to be with the second unit. I think he's going to be closing games with the starters. I could see a couple big shots, hit in a regular season game or two. So if the Celtics can weather this storm without their head coach, Udoka there all year, and there's still a 55-win team, I think Brogdon will be contributing to that factor. So
yeah.
I think he's one of the favorites in this too. He's at the top of the leaderboard.
That's a great one. He will be finishing it, especially the Robert Williams injury as well. You go Horford at the 5. It means if you're playing your best 5, Malcolm was probably already a part of that, but he's going to be playing a lot of minutes. So he will contribute. There's no doubt. He'll get his numbers, and they will be crazy, crazy efficient.
I'll make one more case for another guy, too. This is a wild card one. What about Bones? Bones Highland in Denver?
I don't think that's a crazy wild card one.
He averaged 10, 3, and 3 last year in limited minutes, like 19, 20 minits as a rook. I always forget he's a rook, or it was. He's a second-year player here. But they traded Monte Morris. They traded Barton. They didn't bring back Campazzo or Austin Rivers, so and a lot of that I think is because they believe in this kid, and like they want to give him more opportunity. So he should still be coming off the bench with Jamal Murray back there. So he might, he'd have to pop off here. He'd have to have a huge year to win this award, but I think he'll get some consideration.
Absolutely.
So a little love for Bones.
That's a good one.
Especially around Halloween. Right?
Right.
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 My final note when you're thinking of betting on this, they're long shots. The Anthony Melton plus 4,000 and Montrezl Harrell plus 5,000. But I bring them up because I saw Zachary Hanshu of SBR note this. Since the 13-14 season, the 6th Man of the Year winner has played for Doc Rivers' team 5 times. So
It's pretty funny.
could it be somebody on Philadelphia, like a Melton or a Montrezl Harrell? If I was betting one of those two, I would go Harrell over Melton. But yeah, I don't think I'm even making a bet on either. But just a little note for everybody out there.
Yeah.
The more you know. What do you got, Hazel? You got a blanket in your mouth?
That's a quiet toy.
You tired?
A towel.
Oh, it's a towel. Okay.
I thought you brought a serape. No, not even close.
Oh, people were getting pissed in the stream team that they weren't seeing Hazel.
A little
JD,
brindle coat right there.
Yeah. What did JD tell the people if your mic's on? You haven't had Hazel that long, right? And where'd you get her?
We adopted her. She's from Lifeline, which is
There we go.
There's a great side shot of Hazel. Look at the coloring.
What is this, a
brindle-
Baya ad?
She's
Facing
a
the
brindle
wrong way?
boxer. Yeah, exactly. Oh, you being shy? Yeah, she is.
She loves putting her chin on things.
She really does.
Oh, she's so sweet.
She's a cutie. She's so we adopted her. She came over. Friends of ours had her, and
Don't look at our address, please.
we adopted her. She was never leaving. As soon as she brought her over, that was it. That was it.
Okay. Now she lives in the Classic Factory.
And now she lives here.
Okay,
yeah.
great.
Yeah, our other dog is at the vet, and we've got workers in the house, so that's why she's here.
No, she's here every show now.
Sixth dog of the year.
All right, let's take our final break, and when we come back, we will look at some slogans for tanking this coming season, finals predictions, and maybe a little wedgie prediction as well. Don't go anywhere.
If I were to check my search history, right at the top would be, when does the pharmacy close? Well, Amazon has a pharmacy. Yes, that Amazon. And it doesn't close. Amazon Pharmacy delivers a better pharmacy experience that delivers directly to your door and works with most insurance plans. And it helps you save time, save money, and stay healthy. Prime members can save up to 80% on their prescriptions. America. And there's transparent pricing, so you know what you'll pay before you pay it. And there are real pharmacists who are always available at Amazon Pharmacy, no matter what time it is. Jeff Bezos just got his pharmacy certification. Now, Bezos ain't there. Anyways, your medication gets delivered to your door. A pharmacy that works for your life with meds delivered doesn't get better than that. Switch to Amazon Pharmacy and save time, save money, and stay healthy. Learn more at amazon.com/nodunks. That's amazon.com/nodunks. Amazon.com/nodunks. Average savings based on usage and inside RX data as compared to cash prices. Average savings for all generics are 78%, 37% for select brand medications. Restrictions apply.
Okay, a few more questions here as part of our burning questions about the upcoming NBA season. This is a fun one. What's the best tank for Victor Wembanyama slogan that you can come up with or you've seen?
This is the best year for tanking slogans. Absolutely.
It's a difficult name, though.
Not for people on Reddit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I cheated. I just went to Reddit.
Okay.
Reddit came through. I read like 7. Done. Brick for Vic.
Oh, first name. Nice.
Play bad for the French lad.
That's horrible, but hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you want horrible?
I've got worse, by the way, but yeah, go
This one's for you, JD. Play miserable.
Yes.
Yeah, we're getting good now. Okay, two more. To the spoils go the victor.
Ooh, that's good.
It's good.
That's really good.
It's not really gonna fly on the
No,
internet.
it's a little too long.
It's a
but
little
it's
too
good.
smart.
It's good,
Though. Last one. Win mañana for Wembanyama, and then you can just go win mañana for short. Win mañana. Yeah, the Spanish. Why do you have to bring in Spanish? But anyway. That's it. Brick for Vic is probably the catchy one. That's the fade
one.
for Cade.
It's true.
Yeah. So I stole them all. Sorry, I may have stole some from you guys. What do you got?
Well, I would add to that last one you said. I saw Zach Lowe. I don't know if he came up with it. He probably saw it somewhere. But just a classic Lose-a-rama for Wembanyama, which is catchy. I don't mind it.
I hate all rhyming ones.
Oh.
I think they all suck ever since Suck for Luck. It was the only good one that's ever happened.
Suck for luck. That was Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew Luck. He
I
was
didn't
like
even know that
guaranteed
one.
#1 draft pick, so teams wanted to suck for luck.
But Brick for Vic is good.
That's close to good. Yeah.
Okay, what else you got then?
Alien hunting. We all like that Victor Wembanyama is nicknamed the Alien.
Yeah.
He got it from LeBron James. Extra cool. We're going hunting for aliens out there. They're hard to find. They're hard to get. You could do like a cool Men in Black theme. You're neuralizing the losses away. Boop, we lost by 40, but you already forgot it. The other one I was going.
Well, no, just to add on to that, like your bad loss, like UFO sighting, stuff like that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
The other one I considered was quiet tanking. Quiet quitting's a big thing these days, you know?
Yeah.
People aren't giving their full effort out there. We'll see a lot of quiet tanking in the second half of the
Ooh,
season
that's
when a
good.
guy plays, 24 minutes instead of playing his classic 36 minutes, something like that.
Okay.
I think there's something to that one. Now, how quiet will it be, though?
Yeah, true.
That's the debate. Those are good. All of these are fantastic. I'm sure the stream team's coming through with some, too. I had some brutal ones. I brought up the Zach Lowe one. I like that one. But losses galore for the dude that's 7'4". No? And
Rolls
then-
off the tongue.
Here, this one's better. This one's better in the sense that it's catchier and it's maybe more confusing. Trembly for Wemby. I don't know. I just wrote it down. I'm like, Trembly. They're playing Trembly. What?
Trembly for Wembley.
Trembly for Wemby. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we hit them all.
We've got.
Yeah.
There's got to be a winner with
got to be.
Yeah, but the thing about it being quiet, losing and quiet tanking, I think this is the year where it's going to be loud. It's
Yeah.
going to be
Gotta be
pronounced.
loud.
You got Commissioner Silver having to address it before the season.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks many of the teams will not try. He sounded concerned. I have his quote here. I know that many of our NBA teams are salivating at the notion that potentially through our lottery, they could go get him. So they should all still compete very hard next season. They're not going to. Unfortunately, this is 1 in a million. You've got all these really, really, really good teams at the top. So that also bodes poorly for those teams. For those teams that are trying to get in, it's a play-in tournament appearance. That's all you're playing for. Sorry, they're going to play bad for the French lad. That's what's going to happen.
I have a trivia question for you guys.
Yeah,
if you want
yeah,
one.
yeah.
It's just based off of I saw it on Basketball Reference, based on Wemby here being 7'4", over 7 feet. Do you guys know the all-time leader in 2010 seasons among 7-footers. We won't do the entire list, but maybe you can hit me with a
Wilt.
top 5. Wilt's 4th. Tied for second with 12 seasons. Kareem is tied for second with 12 seasons.
Is Tim Duncan listed at 6 or 7 feet? He's probably 6'11", right? Shaq?
Number 1, 13. 13 seasons for Shaq. You're missing someone else tied with Kareem and Wilt, and then someone else with 9. So a bit of a drop-off after those guys.
Hakeem?
Well done.
Wow.
Tied with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Wilt Chamberlain with 12. Oh, he's a sneaky 7-footer.
Hakeem, yeah.
I sort of
He
think
seems like
of him.
he's 6'10".
Yeah, 6'10", maybe 6'11", yeah. And then final one. Obviously a Hall of Famer. No longer playing.
David Robinson?
He is 6th.
Was Kevin
Or,
Garnett
I guess-
listed? Kevin Garnett listed?
No.
He's listed short.
He wouldn't have a ton of 2010 seasons. David Robinson has 8 of those seasons, but there's one guy in between your Hakeem, Kareem, and Wilt, and then David. There's one guy with
Patrick
9.
Ewing.
Hey, well done.
I just named every 90s center.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Current players? It's Joel Embiid.
2010s. Nice, yeah.
He's got 5 already. 2010s under his belt.
How many's Jokic got? 4? Something like that?
He's not on this list, so maybe Jokic on Basketball Reference is not listed as that height.
Oh, 6'11".
Yeah.
Shorty
Yeah.
pants.
There you go.
Same with Garnett.
Okay.
6'11". He had a lot of 2010 seasons.
Yeah. Here's a good one. NBA Finals prediction. And I want the 2 teams. I want the winner. And hit me with the Finals MVP. Trey, why don't you get us started?
Don't have to give the games?
Hey,
In this many games?
I don't need the games.
All right. I don't need the games. Where we're going, we don't need games. I'm going Bucks over Warriors. The Eastern Conference champion Bucks, the Western Conference champion Warriors. Finals MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo. A showdown between the last 2 champions in the NBA. The Bucks could have made a run to the finals last year with good health. They just said, let's run it back. I think that's pretty smart. Kind of different than what the Lakers did after they won their championship, had an injury season. They changed their whole team and haven't been able to get back to where they wanted to be. The Bucks said, hey, we got Joe Ingles coming back at some point. Chris Middleton, full health. That's good enough to win a championship, and they're probably right. And then the Warriors, they did win the championship last year. Vibes aren't great right now, but it's starting to get a little bit of a last dance feel around Golden State with all of this speculation that this could be Draymond's last season and that he wants to eventually go to the Lakers. Who knows if that's all going to come to fruition, but it definitely feels like let's get the gang back together for one last run here. Even if it's not their last run, that can be a good inspiration. So I'm going Bucks over Warriors in a showdown of the champions from the 21st century.
Okay.
It also feels like the Clippers are playing their last dance, even though, they've got more time together, but it feels like this is the pressure they're putting on each other to get there. So I think they will beat the Warriors, who will be the 1 seed, but they'll get to the finals, but then they'll be beat by those Milwaukee Bucks. Worry about the Bucks' age a little bit. Everybody's starting to get a little old besides Giannis there with Drew and Chris and Brooke, all into their 30s. But I think there'll be a finals there with the Bucks and the Clippers, both teams not being the 1 seeds, but we'll get there in the end. And obviously, we know who the finals MVP is if the Bucks win the championship.
Yes. All right. I really do like a Bucks-Warriors finals. I think that's very realistic, but I'll switch it up here. I said this in one of our earlier podcasts. I slipped it in there. I said, I'm thinking about it. I think we talked about it around a fire with you guys maybe a couple weeks ago and some of our friends when they were down here in Atlanta. I think we're getting Giannis versus Jokic in the NBA Finals. I know it sounds crazy. Denver to the finals. They're going through a Warriors team. They're going through a Clippers team. They're going through whoever else. But yeah, why not? Give me these guys, your MVP candidates in the 2. I would take the Bucks over Denver, so I will say Bucks in 6 versus the Nuggets, with Giannis, of course, getting his 3rd Finals MVP. But I'd love to see it. That's for sure. And is it that far-fetched? I mean, these guys are they're the 2 best players, it feels like at times. Of course, Curry there. You never know with Durant. LeBron still wants to stick his head in, but they're elite. So give me Milwaukee versus Denver.
I love it.
Last 4 MVPs.
Wow.
Yep.
Jesus. Yeah, you're right. I always forget Giannis went back-to-back.
Yeah.
Let's hear from everybody out there. Your finals predictions. Who wins? Who's there? Who gets finals MVP? Final one here. We're slipping it in. How many wedgies this season, guys? I'll let you know last season we had 45. Our high all-time is 58 in the 2020-21 season. And our all-time low, and we've been tracking this for about 7 years, ballpark?
8, yeah.
8 years? 17-18 was our low, 40. We count the playoffs, so, take that into consideration. But what do you think? Going to be better than 45? Are we flirting with 60? Down year?
Oh, there's a wedgie storm brewing.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I think we're going to hit 60.
Whoa.
I don't put a lot into preseason basketball. Don't put much stock into that, but I put some stock into preseason wedgies happening.
Been a couple.
There's been a couple. Have I been tracking them?
I think there's been 3.
Is that good enough to get to 60? I don't know. I'm not doing the math. I don't know how many preseason games there have been, but there's some happening. There's some scooting around. Or there's different leagues. We're seeing them happen in different leagues all over the world right now. So it just seems like there's maybe I'm just being bombarded by clips because I'm not really diving into the preseason wedgie frequency. But yeah, I'm buying it. Wedgietracker.com. That's where it all happens if you want to track them. And yeah, we've never hit 60 before. It could happen.
Okay,
it could happen. A lot of bricking for Vickin, so why not?
That's right. It goes hand in hand. Yeah. Trey, how many wedgies? Call your shot.
I wanted to go 62, Aaron Judge, but I'll let Tass is going over 60. That's fine.
Yep.
The other number that kept popping in my head was 46. 46, I think. Exactly.
All I ever want is to hit the magical number of 50, and I think we will hit 50 smack on this year. So I'll go 50. So we got 60, 50, 46. JD, you want to chime in? How you feeling about wedgies this upcoming season?
I feel great about them.
Yep.
Where am I? Here I am. 52.
52.
Nice.
52.
Nice.
Okay. A
Just popped into my head.
little choked up.
A little
Thinking about
choked
how many
up.
wedgies it's going to be this season.
I can't wait. 52. Yeah, 52.
All right. Everybody make your predictions. How many wedgies?
Get your picks in.
58's the all-time high. Do you agree with Tass that we'll be going over that? Those are our burning questions. We did it once again. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're, for whatever reason, just checking out part 5 here, go back, listen or watch part 1, 2, 3, and 4. We've done it all week long. Coming up next week, Monday, I said it off the top, beach stepping. So get your cues in, get your comments in about basketball or anything you want, really. Dogs, wedgies, no dunks at theathletic.com, or tweet them in at NoDunksInc, INC. Why is this Clipper bro guy keep showing up early?
I love this guy.
Jeez, and now he's on fire.
Whoops.
The Guy Fieri shirt he's
Oh,
wearing.
that's why. I know why. Whoops. Whoops-a-daisy.
So, yeah. Email them in, nodunks@theathletic.com, or tweet them in at NoDunksInc. Get your No Dunks merch over at nodunks.com. Podcast listeners, leave us those sweet 5-star ratings and reviews, especially at the start of the season, guys. You gotta let new NBA fans know about the classics that we're churning out here. So do your part. Help us out. And on Tuesday, NBA opening night, I'm so ready for basketball, by the way. I'm enjoying the preseason wedgies and highlights. See John Morant last night? Jesus.
I only saw your tweet.
Oh my God, it was sick. But I'm like, okay, I'm done. And I'm tired of StatMuse showing the Jimmy Butler photo of someone looking at a stat line in preseason.
Nikola
I'm so
Jokic had
tired
how
of
many
it.
rebounds?
Oh, I'm so tired of it. Let's get the real basketball. Anyway, NBA opening night. Our podcast in the morning, I think we're going to do some NBA tiers. Really try and slot these teams in the appropriate positions. I'm sure we'll get to a bunch of other stuff there. So we got shows on Monday and Tuesday, and then the basketball starts on Tuesday night. During the day, we're going to be jumping on the Athletic NBA show stream. And then this is new. We're just going to try this out. A little pregame show before the Sixers-Celtics game on TNT. 45-minute little pregame hang here on YouTube. YouTube only. So come kick it with us as we get ready for the actual real basketball. So, long-winded way of saying, holy shit. Hold on to your butts, because we have so much coming at you starting next week. Anything I'm missing that you want to throw in there?
I don't think so.
No?
I think we got it all. I will say, there's a mistake here or there today. I can't talk today. I slept on a bamboo pillow for the first time yesterday.
What?
Big mistake.
Wow.
What does that mean?
It means I was sleeping at the bamboo pool. No, it's made of pillow made of bamboo.
Have a palm frond for a blanket?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I have a lot of questions about this. I'll
Yeah,
save
it's
them
a
for
bamboo.
Monday.
It's like a hypoallergenic, right?
Yeah.
Like it's,
Yeah.
But you didn't
Anyway,
sleep
You
well.
didn't like it.
Well, it's gotta
Well,
be
it wasn't my.
change.
Yeah, you never know. You never know with a new pillow. It felt. I thought it was really big. It felt large, but after a couple of hours of sleeping, it was crushed, and so was my shoulder. Sleeping on my side, it got flat.
Tough.
Anyways, listen. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about it. What I'm talking about is. Maybe 9 shows are too many in a week. That's all I'm saying. We got to this Friday show. Yeah, we survived it. Could it have been better if we didn't pull the
Tom, we
trigger?
had a dog on today's show.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Should we have Dog Fridays?
Hell yeah, we should. You got the dog in you?
Well, I got the dog in me. Just went down to get an x-ray done on my chest, and they found a dog in my heart. It was crazy. But I mean, bring Luna, bring Yams.
Yeah. Change the name of the drop to the dog.
The dog.
The dog.
JD
Friday
was
the dog.
firing up the charcoal grill. A lot of dogs on that thing. Let's go.
There was a lot of dogs.
There's a lot of dogs on that thing.
All right. Well, okay, that's something to consider. Let us know. You want a dog-only podcast? We can do that. We got so many dogs.
Somebody signed Frank Jackson. This is a stupid joke. I told you, 9 shows are too many. I told you.
Name the dog?
No, his name is Frank.
Frank. He was talking barbecuing. You know, it was
I left. I left the animal dog and I entered the realm.
We were
of-
still on hot dogs.
That's right.
hey, check your pocket. If you pulled out a pocket.
Oh, my keys are literally a hot dog. Next Friday. Next Friday.
Sick. You would have blown my mind.
Oh man.
Okay, let's call it there. Tess is right. Too many shows. Thank you for joining us all week long. Leave those ratings and reviews. Hit the like button. Subscribe. We will see you on Monday with some Beach Steppin' live at 10 a.m. Eastern. Enjoy your weekend. Till then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us, and remember, send a photo of you with a dog today to us.
Brace the weekend, people.
Yeah,
Sorry.
see you later.
Sorry.